I said we street teaching and doing music to educate. All praise, I had this gift since 2nd grade where I stay. They upgraded the murder from catching fades. Let's just say you niggas is weaker in 7 days. Cause how a nation come kidnap you and make you slaves, then separate their children and parents, change their names. No Damon Wayans for generations was major pain. And we kill each other, but when it's done we don't say a thing. You niggas tripping. Well, in other words, y'all niggas Christian. Worship white Jesus when scriptures give his description. And shout out to my kindred that's really living what's written, keeping laws that was given instead of willfully sinning. I love saying Christ coming back, cause it's with vengeance. All we gotta do is endure like it's an entrance. Rehearse the righteous acts, so spiritually it's a scrimmage. And that real game start when the missiles pass the defenses. Let's get it, I'm chilling. It's scary but it's thrilling. Never trust the opposition, they come near me then I'm peeling. Like aren't you glad we no longer killing and drug dealing? But instead we out here healing, no more filling up them prisons. We almost at the ending, and now I don't care who like me. It's sore strokes for them folks, cause they scared to fight me. And you in sin, cause you clutching on that hand tightly. Calling on the Lord, you get ignored like scam likely. Step to the set, you getting checked like a pair of Nikes. SICARII heavy, in these streets you better tread lightly. And real Jews don't follow behind clones. We just waking up the dead in the valley of dry bones. All praise.
How you doing, sir?
Hi.
How's your day going, man?
All right.
Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking?
Korea.
Korea. Can I ask you this? Like, can I ask what your religious background is?
I grew up Calvinist.
Calvinist. Okay.
Christian.
Oh, Christian. Okay. Okay. So, do you still subscribe to that belief, or?
I haven't got to church in decades.
Okay. I mean, do you still believe in a higher power, or?
Yeah, I'm agnostic, so yeah.
Agnostic. Okay. So there's still a little bit of faith there. Okay. Let me ask you this: like, what's your stance? Like, what do you think about when it comes to soteriology in the Bible? What is your stance? You know what soteriology is?
No.
It's the doctrine of salvation. Who does salvation pertain to, according to the Bible?
According to the Bible, is basically anybody who believes Jesus Christ cleanses your sins, and
Okay.
that's the path to heaven in the Bible. Well, at least
Okay.
in King James Version.
So you're talking about everlasting life, right?
But according to the Calvinists, it's predetermined.
Okay. Oh, it's predetermined. Oh, so you believe in free will, or you believe that we don't have free will, right?
Well, that's Calvinism.
I'm sorry.
That's Calvinism.
Calvinism, right?
In Calvinism, because God is omniscient and knows everything, He already knows who goes to heaven and hell.
Okay.
So everything is already predetermined of whether you go to heaven and hell.
Okay. So the people that were already chosen were already predestined. Is that correct? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
Like predestination, right?
It's not predestination. It's you still get to choose your actions and what you're gonna do and all of that. It's just God already knows.
Oh, so
God
we
already
get
knows
to.
what you chose.
You got that in was it Proverbs 16:4? So we can choose our. Wait, did Christ have free will? Did Christ have free will?
In Calvinism, no.
No, I'm saying so he didn't have free will. So how?
Calvinism is a part of is Yahweh, so he is the will of Yahweh. He does not have free will.
Okay. So
That's
what
Calvinism.
makes you think that we have free will then?
Huh?
So what makes you think that we have free will? Can anybody just come to Christ, or like?
Yeah, anybody come to Christ. But the thing they think
Okay.
Calvinism is because God is omniscient, He
You-
already knows.
Okay. But I'm saying, do we have a choice to come to God though? Can you give me John 6:44?
So
Yeah,
yeah, like
it's-
we choose, but God already knows. God already knows whether you were going to choose salvation or not before He created you.
So you don't have a choice.
We don't have free will then, right?
But you do.
So you can choose to go against God's will for you.
You can choose whatever you want, but he knows what you chose before he creates you.
So is that really a choice?
Yeah.
So what if you choose differently?
Huh?
What if you choose differently?
Then he knows you chose differently.
How? So only one person on earth had free will, or had no free will ever.
So
Is that what you're saying?
no, you still have
Only Jesus has no free will, and everybody has created.
Well, it's not Jesus has free will.
No, it says no free will. You said not Catholicism, but Calvinism.
Okay.
He's the only person that didn't get a choice to do anything on earth.
He's not a person.
He's who?
Jesus isn't a person.
Who is he?
Calvinism.
Who is he?
He's part of the Trinity. So he's literally a part of God.
So
How is
he's
everybody a part of God?
That's a question for my priest.
For who?
That's for my pastor.
Your
But-
pastor? Oh, you still go to church?
No, but that would be a question for my pastor.
So God sent Jesus as a part of the Trinity down to earth
well, God
as a man, right? God was a man at
is
one point.
God. God is Jesus.
No.
Because
You get 1 Timothy
the
2 and
Trinity
5?
of God would be the Holy Spirit, God, or Holy Spirit, Yahweh, and Jesus Christ.
so they're co-equal, co-eternal, coexisting,
They're
right?
not co.
That's the doctrine of the Trinity, is that they both come from one source.
They're not co though. Well, it's not the same source. They are the same. They are the entity of what God is.
So they will be co-equal, co-eternal.
They're parts. They're not co. They're not separate.
That's literally the doctrine of the Trinity, though.
But well, in Calvinism, they're basically all three is what makes God.
So
And that's the problem.
so is God a man, or
No, God is God.
God is God? You got something? Get that.
Where you at?
Actually, can you get the other one? What I tell you to get?
So,
1 Timothy 2 and 5.
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. And there is one God.
For there
is one God.
there is one God, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one mediator between God and man.
Who is that mediator?
And King James is Jesus Christ, but Calvinist doesn't ascribe to King James version. So
Hold on. What version do Calvinists read?
Huh?
What
They
version?
have
Do
their own version.
What Bible do you read, sir?
Huh?
What Bible do Calvinists subscribe to?
The Holy Bible, but
Which one? Which translation?
Huh?
Because they're all translations, right?
right. It's
So which
the Calvinist.
Show me the Calvinist
Cal-
Bible.
It's the version that John Calvin wrote.
Yeah, that he made up. So
That-
John
that's-
Calvin. So John
that's
Calvin can
his-
make up his own version of the Bible.
His translation.
Show me where it's at.
Oh, look it up.
I'm asking you. You're talking about the doctrine.
I
You're
don't-
telling me.
I'm not a Calvinist anymore.
Sir,
So
you're describing
that's
it to
what
us, though.
That's what I was taught as a kid.
So do you believe that though?
Huh?
Do you believe in the Trinity?
Yeah, I just believe in higher power. I'm agnostic. I just
Well,
believe
I'm
in
saying
higher
because
power.
you're arguing what you were taught, which is not a problem, but it's still a problem because it's not seen in the Bible.
Well, it's seen in the
Now,
Calvinist Bible.
where's it? Show me where the Calvinist Bible is at. Can you pull it up on your phone? Where's?
No,
Can you,
I don't care.
what's the
about
name of it? What's the name?
Huh?
What's the
It's
name
the
of it?
Holy Bible, like every other version of the Holy Bible.
Except for the King James.
Well, the whole.
You see how that? See that argument falls
what
upon
you have,
itself?
what you have there is the King James Holy Bible.
When did John Calvin live?
I don't remember.
Before or after King James?
Calvin was after King James.
Of course it was. So he went against the grain and created his own doctrine, right?
But that's not
Because that's
but,
not the every other Bible is not
But
doesn't
there's
agree
the,
with what
there's,
you're
the,
saying.
there's the New Genesis Holy Bible. There's
They're all translations, sir. The point is,
according to Calvinists, so is the version that John Calvin wrote down.
he didn't write anything.
So
He probably interpreted it his own way, but he didn't write a damn thing. Unless he's just making up his own Bible, like you're trying to say.
It's his translation of the Holy Text.
Where's it at? I would love to see it, because you're talking about this isn't right, because it's King James.
Well, no, I'm saying that's what's written in King James. I'm not arguing what's written in King
So
James.
Calvinists have a problem with the King James.
No. They,
But we're reading it though.
Huh?
But we're reading it,
Yeah.
and you're trying to say it's an issue.
No.
So why, read that again.
The first epistle of Timothy, chapter 2, verse 5. For there is one God and one mediator between God and man, the man Jesus Christ. Christ Jesus.
Okay, so here's the thing. They're all one God. The Holy Spirit, Jesus, and God. They're all equal, right? That has to be. If they're all one God, they all have to be equal, right?
No, they're not. It's not equal. They're the same.
Exactly. So Jesus is God in the flesh when he came on the earth, right?
Well, yeah, Jesus is God.
Okay, but did he have the same power on earth? Did he have the same power on earth as the rest of the
As
pieces
Yahweh
of God?
and Holy Spirit?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, theoretically, I suppose.
No, of course not.
How do you know?
You just told me that he didn't have his own will.
I mean,
Give me 1 Corinthians
he has
15.
He has the will of Yahweh and the Holy Spirit, whatever God is. So,
And give me Psalms 83
so he doesn't have the free will of
and
man.
18. How come his name is Jesus? How come his name isn't Yahweh on earth? If they're all the same. Why did they change his name?
Because it's the mortal world.
But it's God still.
You can't say God's name in the mortal world.
Who said that?
I mean, that's why you have God, Yahweh, you have...
Well, God is a translation.
Is it
Is Yahweh the name? Why are
No.
you saying it?
Yahweh isn't the name either.
Wh-
Yahweh is
What?
also-
What's the name?
Yahweh is a representation of God. It's the
So
name,
what's
it's
God-
The name, it's the names Jews chose because you
It's the name Jesus chose.
no, Jews.
Jews chose what? Yahweh?
Yahweh. That's
Where?
That's the Old Testament name for it.
Where they choose that at? Can you show me?
Right?
Get Psalms 83. Read that. You got 1 Corinthians 15. You know what I want?
83 and 18. That man may know
Yep.
that thou, whose name alone,
Who's what?
that man may know
That man may
thou,
know what?
whose name alone,
Whose name alone is what? Read.
Jehovah art of most
Does it tell you
high,
the real name? Go ahead.
Yahweh,
Yahweh is his name.
the art, the most high over all the earth.
Thou art who?
The art, the most high over all the earth.
You are the most high over all the earth. Is Jesus' name Yahweh or Yahweh? Or Jehovah? This is a translation. How come you not the same name? Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Doesn't.
You're trying to make it seem like Jews chose the name of God that created everything. That is outrageous.
They didn't choose it. That's just what they wrote down. That's what they were told.
No, that's what the name that God gave them.
That's
Give me
that's
Exodus.
the
Give me
scripture.
Exodus 3, and read this real quick.
So,
1 Corinthians.
What's your name, sir?
so basically, that matters if you are ascribing to that God claimed the name down to the Jews, whatever. If you don't, then they chose the name.
They didn't choose any name. You've read the Bible before, right?
Yeah, but I don't ascribe to the Bible.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. We're just debating because you're talking about it, so it's not a problem. You can go on and be a Taoist or whatever you want to be after this, but as of now, we're just dialoguing, that's all.
Yeah,
And I'm just going to prove the ideology wrong.
I don't believe that I don't believe a higher power came down to somebody and said, "This is my name," like it says in the Bible,
Did he come down?
or
Because
mentally said it, or whatever. I
No,
don't
he
think-
sent an angel to deliver the message.
I don't think a higher power did that either. I don't believe any of that happened.
You don't believe in anything,
I believe.
but you do believe in a divine creator.
I believe in.
Because you said it earlier,
I
right?
believe in a higher power, not divine creator, a higher power.
So did the higher power create the earth?
But I
Did,
don't.
did the higher power create the earth?
The higher power would have created the universe, so yes.
Yeah,
sure.
a divine entity, right?
I didn't say divine. I said a higher
What?
power.
So what's a higher power mean to you?
Huh?
What's a higher power mean? What's the definition of that? Are there multiple higher powers or just one?
It could be multiple. It could be singular. It could be a divine being, like you're saying. It could just be a race of creatures that that's been around so long that they just moved to a fourth dimensional plane that they can fiddle around with time, like we do with space.
Huh? Who told you that?
I,
Or you just that's just a hypothesis of just
higher power could be anything.
no problem. What you got? Give me that.
That's 1 Corinthians 15:27. For
But
he
I
had,
don't believe
for he had put
they
all things.
did
That's not a problem. Let's just read the Bible.
For he had put all things under his feet. But when he saith, all things are put under him.
This
it
is when
is
Jesus
manifest-
returns. Read.
It is manifest that he is expected, which did put all things under him.
Where you at?
So which one?
Start at 24. You
Verse
started too
24.
late.
Then cometh the end. When
Then
he-
come at the end. Read.
when he shall have delivered up the kingdom to God,
Who's the he? Talking about Jesus. He's going to deliver the kingdom up to God. Read.
even the Father.
Even what?
The Father.
The Father. The Father is different from Jesus. There's a clear separation. Read.
when he shall have put down all rule and all authority and power. For he must reign
Read.
till he hath put all enemies under his feet.
Go ahead.
The last enemy that shall be destroyed is
Is
death.
death. That's all I want to give me Hebrews. Do you understand that?
I mean, once again, I don't believe any of it, so there's no relevance.
So what drew you away from the Bible if that's the case? Because you said you were a Calvinist, you said before?
I was raised Calvinist.
What got you out of it?
I don't really like church.
you just like sitting in the building listening to pastors and
No,
that?
Tabletop games, probably.
No, but I didn't like church. I didn't like the hypocrisy in churches. I didn't like.
Wow. That's a good point. That's a great point, actually.
So I wasn't a fan of it. Also, like reading the Bible in Bible studies, a lot of the things just, for me, didn't make sense to me. It's like, and like I said, I was agnostic even as a kid.
Interesting.
I
You
didn't-
say you're from where?
Huh?
You say you're from where?
I'm from all over the place.
No. As far as your ethnicity, what'd you say? You're
Korean.
Korean? See, that's actually the overall standpoint of why you don't understand the Bible. Because the Bible wasn't written for you. You were taught it, you read it, you thought about it, you went to church, but it's not for you. That's the point. The Bible is only for the Israelites. You're not an Israelite. So of course you don't understand it. Of course you don't necessarily believe in God per se, because he's not for you. The God is the God of the Israelites. And it says it in the Bible, all throughout the Bible. When you go to church, why are you still so conflicted? The people that are teaching the Bible to you, they're teaching lies to you. So of course it draws you away. I don't have a problem with it. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily an issue because you're not the people of the book. We're the people of the book. We understand the Bible more than anybody else. Our ancestors wrote this book. But of course you don't believe in it. You believe in a higher power, cool. But we know this Bible is true by prophecy, by the history and archaeology that follows up. You know they found Noah's Ark? You heard about that?
No.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
You know where Mount Ararat's at?
No.
Turkey. Look up Mount Ararat. They found Noah's Ark. That's just one point that the Bible's true. Do you know what dendrochronology is?
Yeah.
Dendrochronology? What's that?
It's the. What is it? Shit, I learned this in archaeology and I'm blanking now.
Oh, you went to school for archaeology or
Yeah.
anthropology or what?
I actually have a degree in archaeology.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Have you been on any digs or what?
Yeah.
Where at?
In the Bahamas.
Bahamas?
Yeah.
What's out there?
Clifton Plantation, which is the.
Oh, slave plantation?
It's the last slave plantation in North America.
Interesting. When did that end?
1860 something. It was there for a while.
Crazy.
But this is the Caribbean. It was the very last one.
What does Bahamas mean? What does Bahamas mean? Cattle.
Oh, is that?
Who was the cattle? The slaves.
Place? Yeah.
How did you feel when you were on that plantation?
Huh?
How did you feel when you went on that plantation? Or was it just strictly science? And what do they say over there in England? It's simply what do they say? Academic. It's just academic.
It's just academic.
It's just academic. They don't care about this.
I mean, there's so little of the plantation left above ground.
I see what you're saying. Y'all didn't find bones though, anything like that?
We found like bones from food a lot actually.
Oh, like little animals.
Like,
Uh-huh.
not even animals, like specifically like chicken bones and turtle
I
bones.
see what you're saying. Yeah.
Stuff that the slaves would have been using for
Yeah.
actual meals. We found a lot of those remains still.
Yeah, I heard,
kept and
I heard.
buried. But
But how do you feel about doing that? Did you think about like the history of it or
yeah, I mean,
the oppression aspect?
That's one of the things. Is you know the history of it all. And the oppression
Give me
of it.
Amos 3:1.
But
And then
some of it is like some glimpses of. Some of it you get some glimpses of things that doesn't really match up.
What do you mean?
A lot of the potteries that we found in the slave quarters areas was like, you know, they had the cheap earthenware stuff. Well,
You said what?
Earthenware.
Yeah.
They had the cheap earthenware pottery.
Yeah.
They also had a lot of like porcelain pottery in the slave quarter area.
Yeah.
So at least in the Clifton Plantation, it looks like a lot of the luxury goods were passed down to the slaves.
I'm pretty sure at some point in time, as slavery got drawn back,
Yeah.
quote unquote. So was it like a big house that they call it, you know, in like the South? Or was it just like a regular little farm and
itself,
yeah.
The plantation was fairly large, yeah.
Okay. Well, hey. So you enjoyed that work. Do you still do it now?
Huh? No.
So here's the thing.
Can't
See,
make money doing it, but
what's that?
I wish I could, but can't really make money.
You got to
doing it.
be like sponsored pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But here's the thing. They found Hebrew artifacts in America. Why is that? Why would they find Hebrew artifacts in America?
I mean, where and how deep?
Where my backpack? Give me my bag. I'm gonna show you real quick. I'm gonna show you one in New Mexico. It's right here. What does it say? The Ten Commandments discovered in America before Christ. This is in New Mexico. The Los Lunas Stone, the Ten Commandments in Paleo Hebrew. In the middle of nowhere, side of a mountain.
Hebrew, really?
This is Paleo Hebrew, not the modern Hebrew, the Paleo Hebrew
Right.
that the Jews spoke in before Babylon. How did this get here?
Oh.
You can't move this. This is a huge rock. How did this get here? If the Bible's not real and none of it existed, the guy's not the Jews' name guy. The guy's name is on this rock.
That's interesting.
Yeah, this is archaeology though. This is supposed to be your field. I'm schooling you about your history and your schooling.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Of course you haven't. First of all, what did you study? Is any archaeology or just a particular field?
Historical archaeology.
See, this is history.
Oh no, that would be prehistory.
Yeah, exactly. This is from like 700 BC.
That would be prehistoric.
Yeah, pre-Columbian, right?
Prehistoric.
Yeah, prehistoric. I mean, sure, but this is another one they found in Ohio,
Anything before Columbus in the Americas would be considered prehistoric archaeology.
according to
According to academics.
Yeah, no problem. It was the Bat Creek Stone. This is in Ohio, and this is the Paleo Hebrew letters as well. You know what I mean? There's way more in America. How did it get here? See, if you really knew the Bible, you'd know the history coincides with the Bible. You know why? Because it's prophecy and the history of the actual Israelites and the Jews.
My guess would be pre-Ice Age.
Sir, prove there's an ice age. Prove an ice age ever happened.
Huh?
Prove an ice age ever happened.
I mean, there's proof of it in the dirt.
Prove it. Prove it.
I mean, you really can't prove it 100%.
Oh, why not? Why'd you say it?
There's evidences of it.
What?
but
Show me.
that-
What's the
that-
evidence?
That's true of basically a lot of history.
No. Just show.
You can't prove most of history.
So you believe there's an ice age?
Huh?
You believe an ice age happened?
I do believe an Ice Age happened, yes.
So can you describe what happened in ice age?
The polarity shifted, and then basically there was a massive climate change. The Earth cooled down.
The Earth cooled down.
Yep, and then there was a land bridge between the
Oh my
the
God.
continents because
Oh
the
my
Earth
God.
frozen over.
Wait a minute. So it wasn't a global thing?
It was a global thing, but it wasn't like the oceans completely froze over.
So you're talking about Alaska to Russia, the land bridge over there?
Well, basically, an ice.
That's crazy. That's been debunked. The Bering Strait? Are you kidding me? You believe in the Bering Strait?
What about the Bering Strait?
That's the ice bridge, the land bridge, right?
Well,
The Bering Strait, Alaska to Russia. You believe that happened?
now?
No, that's a theory. The Bering Strait theory.
But I mean, it doesn't have to be there. It's just you had chunks of ice.
No, that's I asked you to describe the Ice Age. You said the Bering Strait, the land bridge. The waters froze over, created a bridge. Asians came over, apparently, populated America, mixed with the Indians, and that's why you get the Mongols or whatever you want to call it, you know.
The Mongoloids. And
Yeah, sure, that's not true. That's been debunked. You know who made that up? Catholics. Why is that? Why would they do that? Why would a Catholic talk about a Bering Strait?
yeah.
In the 1500s. You familiar with that?
Huh?
How'd you learn about the Bering Strait?
College.
Right. Purely academic.
As a theory, right?
As a theory.
But you believe that?
Huh?
Wait a minute, how long ago was this actually?
20 years.
Yeah, that's correct.
Excuse me? No. When did the Ice Age happen? That's what I'm saying.
No. 50,000 years. 60,000 years.
Can you prove the Earth is 50,000 years old? With archaeology. You're an archaeologist, right?
Once again, there's evidence of it, but if you keep demanding, is there proof?
I just want to know what evidence they have. I can disagree with the evidence. Just give me evidence at all. Give me one piece of evidence.
Huh?
Give me one piece of evidence. Give me the pottery. Where's the pottery at from that long ago? Give me something, anything.
Probably from that long ago would have been just gone up to dust at that point.
Oh, so what do we have left from 50,000 years ago?
The timing would be by gauging the growth of the different sedimentary rocks.
Oh, what science is that called?
Huh?
What's that science called?
I think that is endocrinology.
No, that's trees.
That's trees.
Dendrochronology, that's the tree rings.
That's tree rings.
What's the oldest tree on Earth?
Huh?
What's the oldest tree on Earth?
I don't know.
5,000 years old.
Okay.
So, where's 50,000 come in?
From the Earth.
Sure. What is? Huh?
I mean, from the center of the Earth.
Wait a minute. I'm telling you. How do they measure that? How do they measure that though? Because I already know where you're going. Just spit it out. How do you measure the time frame?
By estimation of how compact the different sedimentary layers are, and how long it would take for those things to compact down.
So there's layers.
Yeah.
So that's it.
Yeah. And going by that, the Earth is billions of years old.
Oh, wow.
Millions of years old, not billions.
So you believe dinosaurs existed?
I mean, we have incomplete fossils of them, so
No, we don't. There's full fossils in museums right now.
a lot of those are. A lot of those are not really full fossils.
They're fake. They're fake, sir.
They're cast.
They're fake.
Well,
Yeah, they
they're
created
cast.
them. They created them,
A
sir.
lot of them are cast, but
Yeah.
like the original ones are usually pieces of it, and people would kind of assemble them with.
Here's the thing. You see how he just contradicted himself? You just said that the pottery would disintegrate within the 50,000 years, but the bones that were billions of years old, they're still around, right?
The bones disintegrated too.
Great. So where did they get the bones from? From the dinosaurs that they have in the
The
museum?
bones, because they are different material, they're basically rocks that are in the shape of the bones that was there.
How does that work?
That's fossilization.
So the bones,
The bones are long gone. You can't get DNA from them. You can't get biological material from them. They're stone.
great. So how do you come up with the figure for the dinosaurs?
Huh?
So
They took the shapes of the bones and then went, well, I think this bone goes here, this bone goes there, and then they just kind of sort of made shapes out of various bones.
Yeah,
around.
just made it up. Yeah.
So, yes, there might have been dinosaurs, but they probably don't look like the ones you see in museums.
You said they didn't?
There probably were dinosaurs. There probably something that made those bones in the ground, but they didn't look like what's in the museums.
I'm glad you said that. Thanks. That's all I was saying. Because it's ridiculous. I don't believe in any of those T-Rexes and Brontosaurus and what's it? Triceratops. Like what's the main ones in it?
Like
Yeah, pterodactyl. What's the Velociraptor? Like nah, bro. Like
something left the bones.
no, they made it up. I believe those are all fake.
Well, you can believe that if you want.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
You believe in science, right?
Well, sort of, kind of. But yeah.
What's the other measurement they take with the radiation?
Talking about carbon dating?
Yeah, carbonating. They carbonate it? They use carbonating
You get,
for the sediment? Because how do you know, how can you tell the sediment is millions of years old? Like, how does that work? I will let it know.
carbon dating sediments isn't exactly accurate. So.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You said sediment. I'm asking you, how do they measure the sediment? How much is a layer in the first place?
So basically, it's dependent on what kind of material the sediment
Yeah.
is, and then
That's what I want to know.
and then they're basically measuring how deep it is and how long it would take for it to compact to that depth.
What do you mean? In what
It's-
way?
It's all an estimate. Like there's no proof.
Thank you.
You can't
Thank
prove
you.
anything. You can't
Wow.
like
You can't
you
prove
can't-
anything.
You can't prove a lot of things in the past. Like the only proof you have is academically. The only thing you can really prove are things that are written down. So historical.
Wow. Just like the Bible. Isn't that crazy?
Well, that's a translation of something written down.
Well, we have the Hebrew, though.
Oh yeah, if you want,
We have the Hebrew.
You actually study the actual original
Yeah.
Hebrew versions of it.
But that's the thing, though.
That is proof. Yes, I will. That is historical
And
proof.
that's where they get the Bible from, the translations of the manuscripts.
That's assuming that's 100% accurate translations.
We have there's manuscripts though, and here's another thing: you don't know how the Bible was put together though. How they had schools of scribes writing things over and over and over. That's their only job. That was their only job in Israel.
That doesn't mean it's 100% accurate translation.
You know how it is, because they found the Dead Sea Scrolls. You familiar with that?
Yeah.
When were Dead Sea Scrolls found? 1947.
Yeah.
1947, and then they found what? The Masoretic texts. After that, or excuse me, before that.
I mean, there is a lot of the original.
They found two separate manuscripts 1,000 years apart, and there's 95% accuracy. How does that work?
But that's not 100%.
But it's not actually, the text is just grammar and spelling, things like that. It has nothing to do with the actual different translations. Oh, they said something way different over here. No. 95% accuracy from 1,000 years apart. How does that work?
That's pretty good.
Well, you know why? Because God made it happen that way. The same quote unquote Yahweh that you're referencing, we believe in his name is Yahweh first and foremost. And that's along with the archaeology like I described, that's how you know it is real.
But the only thing you can really prove are things that are actually historically written down, academically speaking.
And the pottery, right?
Huh?
And the pottery and the archaeology I just referenced.
No, like physically.
This is written down though, right?
Even with that, well, that would be historic because that would be history because you have writing of it. Academically speaking, if there's written.
But it's the same Ten Commandments in the Bible though.
Huh?
It's the same Ten Commandments in the
Yeah,
Bible.
So that would be.
So it corroborates it, right?
That would be it. That would be historical evidence.
Yeah.
And academically, that could be proof of things.
Uh-huh.
But for the most part, like when you're talking about like prehistorical stuff, it's all estimates. You
Well,
can't-
dating mostly. Dating.
It's all estimates.
The dating mechanisms, yeah, of course.
You can't really prove. You can't really prove that. Even with the trees, it's all estimates.
The trees? No, it's more accurate with the trees.
more accurate
Because you
with
can
the
look at it right there and
Right,
count
but
it
it's
by
still-
hand
it's
and by
still-
eyes.
It's still estimates. It,
Just like the sediment, right?
just like the sediment.
50,000-year-old Earth or billions, like that's
Billions of
crazy.
years, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But it's all estimates.
So you believe in evolution then, right?
You can't prove it.
Do you believe in evolution? Do you believe in evolution?
I believe.
Because if there's an ice age, that means if there are humans around, they froze over to death too, right?
I believe there's at least the. Oh, okay.
What do you have right there?
Macroevolution. There isn't.
Yeah,
solid
like
proof
the
of
dude off
macroevolution.
Black Panther
There
2.
is solid proof of microevolution.
In reference to what?
Huh?
Humans? Humans or
No,
animals?
just in general.
Give me an example.
So, like, macroevolution would be what you would need to prove something like, you know, an ape turned into a human.
You believe that?
I'm on the fence on that.
You on the fence? No problem.
That's macroevolution would
Mhm.
be, you know, there was enough genetic changes
Exactly.
where
Mhm.
we came from the, like, there was a common ancestor between us and a chimp.
Exactly.
Like, and basically there was a divergent path, and that would be macroevolution, where basically your
It's a
species-
huge change, yeah.
Your species change.
Exactly.
But
Which is impossible.
microevolution is proven to have happened and exist.
Give me an example of that too.
So microevolution would be, well, I mean, the simplest one would be like the changes a virus has from strains.
Okay.
So like the cold flu having different strains is macroevolution. That obviously happens.
Understandable.
Like you can't really disprove microevolution. Like we
Well,
see
that's
that
not
happening
the
in
main
our
point of what we're talking about for real, because that's why I brought you back to your time frame of the Earth, is because if we believe, if we're just going to have an argument about the timetable of the Earth, and then dinosaurs or quote unquote animals were there back then, and there were no humans, that's different. But if we assume humans were there, and there was an ice age and everybody died,
Well, no, the humans would have been there with the dinosaurs.
same thing. So it's either an ice age or a meteor hit and everybody burnt to death.
Well, no.
Do you believe that, or just one? One of the two happened? Because some people believe both happened. Some people believe one of the two happened. Was there an ice age and everything froze over and everybody died, or was there a meteor that burnt everything?
The way the sediment layers are done, the ice age would not be the time of the dinosaurs. The time of the dinosaurs is completely different from.
I'm just saying in general. If either one happened, were there humans there when it happened?
You mean
when either catastrophic event happened?
Well, when the creatures that the bones were based off of died off.
Whenever the event happened, where were the humans?
Humans weren't there in the sediment.
Oh, so where'd the humans come from?
Huh?
Where'd the humans come from?
I mean, from my belief, we were created by a higher power.
Great, and I agree with that. That's exactly. You believe in a creator, whether it's divine or whatever. Do you believe was one person at a time or everybody at once?
I think it was like, I don't know. I don't really have a firm. I don't have a firm belief on either one. I really.
Do you believe in incest?
Huh?
Incest.
Well,
Because that would have to occur if there was only a few people.
Happens.
Of course, it does happen, but I'm saying in the beginning.
So like, what do you mean? Do I believe it? Like,
If there's a minimum amount of people in the earth in the beginning and people have incest, that's not good, right?
I mean, if only two people were created at the very start, there would be a lot of inbreeding, and the way our DNA works, that would cause a lot of genetic issues. Yes.
You're absolutely right, and we believe the opposite happened. God created everybody at once,
But
multiple people, thousands of people.
From a science genetic standpoint, the higher power would have had to created a minimum stock of humans.
I agree. I agree with that.
It's not Adam and Eve.
Yeah, I mean, those are the people that He chose. If you really believe, if you read the Bible, but we believe God created everybody at one time, and then chose Adam and Eve amongst the people.
Well, I mean, if you read Genesis, like Adam and Eve is the two that were in the Garden of Eden. It doesn't say they were the only people, because once they left the Garden of Eden, they meet other people.
Yeah, and Cain had to run to another city and got married to another woman.
Yeah.
Where'd those people come in?
Right.
See, you're not stuck in Christianity.
No.
But you did say some Christian things earlier, which we don't agree with. But that's just logical, you know what I mean? If Adam and Eve are the only people.
That's not my belief. That's what I was.
Exactly,
and
that's what I'm saying. Give me that in Amos.
But
let me read something else to you real quick.
I mean, yes, if we would like if when we were created, there would have to be a minimum stock. Otherwise, genetically,
exactly,
we would have failed.
And we agree. Go ahead.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 1.
Hear
this word that the Lord has spoken against you.
Read.
O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt.
Read on.
Saying, you only have I gotten, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
God only knows the Israelites. This whole book is about the Israelites, the prophets, who the world calls Jesus. Not necessarily Adam and Eve, because those weren't necessarily Israelites, but everybody from Moses down, Moses down, those are all Israelites. Everybody else past.
Old Testament's all about the Israelites, basically.
The whole Bible is about the Israelites. Jesus was an Israelite, right? Wasn't he an Israelite? Yeah. Were the disciples Israelites?
Huh?
The 12 disciples? Yeah. The Pharisees, Sadducees, all the people were Jews, Israelites. Where's everybody else coming to play? Paul was an Israelite and a Jew.
Yeah.
So why are you saying only the Old Testament?